The following is a special presentation of the National Lacrosse League.
For the first time in history, the National Lacrosse League comes to fabulous Las Vegas. Tonight's Sin City Showdown pits the up-and-down Colorado Mammoth against the San Diego Seals, a team battling to dig itself out of an early season hole. The Mammoth are led by two of the league's top 10 scorers in Ryan Lee and Chris Wardle. Plus, they're anchored by the phenomenal play of goalie Dylan Wolf. The Seals have struggled offensively until last week when they put up 15 goals in New York. It's a West Division showdown in Nevada, and we're just minutes from face-off right here on BR Live.
The National Lacrosse League is in Las Vegas. It is the NLL Game of the Week, and it's right here on BR Live, Facebook, and Twitter. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in the historic Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Arena. My name is Teddy Jenner, joined by my longtime friend Doug Locker. This is going to be a fantastic lacrosse game between two Western clubs.
What a night in the National Lacrosse League. Lacrosse comes to Las Vegas. Great Saturday night action. It's going to be fun.
The biggest news of the day came a few hours ago when the Seals reactivated off the IR 2019 Rookie of the Year Austin Stotts. This is a huge boost for a Seals team that's starting to work their way up the West standings.
A massive boost for the Seals. As we talked about earlier tonight, San Diego 3-13 without Austin Stotts since that injury last April against Georgia. You know they're super happy to have him back.
This guy has been through a lot, and he's put in the work to make sure he could get back to this point. The off-floor work that he has put in to make sure that his body's healthy, his knees healthy, just goes to show how much he wants to be back, but also just the drive and determination of this young man.
Austin Stotts is a fierce competitor. I mean, the kid put in about 135 workouts between last April and now, and he's chomping at the bit to get going.
Devin Caney spoke with Austin earlier, and here's what he had to say.
Thanks, Teddy. Austin, big day for you today, back on the active roster after your season-ending injury last year. How does it feel?
I'm electric right now. Been waiting a long time, been working very hard to get back to this moment, and hopefully I can put on a show for the fans tonight.
I know you're on the active roster, but I have to ask, will we see you hit the floor at all for a good length of time tonight?
Yeah, you'll see me on the floor tonight. Hopefully I can put in a couple in the net, and hopefully we can pull out the two points here tonight.
Leading up to this game and even what you missed last season, how did it feel to kind of watch these guys play and lose and win some games without you?
You know, I got hurt 14 games left in the season last year. We lost the first round to defending champs, so I mean, it was tough to see. This feels good to be back out here, and hopefully we can get some wins together and go on a little run here so we can push for the playoffs.
Now, we saw a bit of what you went through in terms of rehab. It looked pretty grueling. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, you know, I had physio every day, just literally working my butt off to get back to this spot I'm at right now. And to feel confident and to have a good health right now is amazing for me. I feel 110%, and I'm ready to go.
And how did it feel working out with Johnny Pearson?
He's a character, so I'll leave it at that.
All right, and you've got a huge fan base here tonight. We've got kids like lined up trying to get his signature. So best of luck to you tonight, Austin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
Back inside Orleans, and it is a memorable night for Austin Stotts to get a chance to be back playing in the National Lacrosse League again. We're starting to get close. You just said you're getting goosebumps. It's going to be one heck of a night. The Las Vegas scene is ready for the National Lacrosse League, and we'll have the opening face-off when we come back on BR Live, Facebook, and Twitter. The NLL on BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurances. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. This is going to be a fun night. I know we're both ready. I know the teams are ready. What can we expect? One last thought before we kick this thing off.
Well, I think we're going to see a transition-oriented game. Hopefully we're going to see two good goaltenders stand on their head tonight. And I'm just excited for the NLL to be showcased on a wider stage here in Vegas.
Now for tonight's Inactive Report, brought to you by BetMGM. Taylor Stewart, Jeff Wade out for Colorado. Mark Lucchini and Garrett McIntosh out for San Diego. Any of those surprise you?
Well, I'm a little surprised with McIntosh, but he's been traveling all week, so I'm sure they decided that the wear and tear of that travel would probably be too much for him. Other than that, I think they're all just tough decisions every week, right?
It's Dylan Ward versus Nick Damu between the pipes. We have ourselves a fantastic contest here on the NLL Game of the Week. Thanks for joining us here on BR Live, Bleacher Report, and Twitter, even on Facebook, wherever you're watching. Let's enjoy some National Lacrosse League from the Orleans Casino. There's a look at Nick Damu, 1-1 in the National Lacrosse League this season. 9.41 goals against a 7.785. Down on the floor, Deputy Commissioner of the National Lacrosse League, Jessica Berman, with Brody Merrill and Dan Coates for a ceremonial face-off. Jessica will join us at halftime to talk about all things National Lacrosse League. She is a very tenured person in the sports business world, and we're going to be thrilled to have her join us at the half. There's a look at Dan Coates, the Mammoth captain. No home team, so who wins this draw?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Brody won it, 1-0. Brody's already got the advantage over Dan Coates. We talked about it a little bit. San Diego won all 3 meetings between these two teams last year. Does that play any effect in how these teams prepare?
I don't think so at all. I mean, you know as well as anybody, Teddy, every year's a new year. Last year's ancient history. It's what have you done for me lately? And I don't think it really has any bearing at all.
Let's get your starters for San Diego. Tor Reinhold, Brody Merrill, Cam Holding, Eli Gobrecht, Brendan Clellan, and Nick Damu. For Colorado, Tim Edwards, Brett Craig, Robert Hope, Jacob Rouet, Joey Capito, and Dylan Ward in net. Ward 4-4, 8.96 goals against, and a .825 save percentage. Colorado coming in 4-4. The last game was that overtime loss to Buffalo last weekend. San Diego 2-5. And that win last weekend over New York was a big one. Spoke with Pat Merrill before the game, and he said that was a good win for them because it got them back on track, and see if they can't keep that momentum going. Face off here from Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Still can't believe it. Brett Craig has the opening loose ball for Colorado. Robert Hope pushes it up to Jacob Rouet, and here comes Colorado with the opening possession. Thanks for joining us. NLL Game of the Week here on Bleacher Report, Facebook, and Twitter. Chris Wardle, late man off the bench. Kyle Killen with a shot, saved there by Damu. And you talked about it, Doug. Letting him feel the ball early is a big thing to get his composure early on.
Super important for him to touch the ball early, get a little bit of confidence, get that defense feeling a little more confident in front of him.
Here is Austin Stott's first touch in almost a whole year. Berg down in the corner, Buchanan to Stotts, driving through. Can't find it. Jackson picks up the loose ball, 8 on the shot clock. Pass to Stotts, couldn't see it. And it'll be possession to Colorado. Maybe not exactly the start that Austin Stotts was hoping for, but got a good touch, an opportunity getting through the middle. Dylan Kinnear skips it over to Ryan Lee. At 5 goals against Buffalo. Kinnear again, shot saved by Damu. And a nice right kick save by the Seals goaltender. And the other way comes that's Carnegie. Mike Carnegie is on the Seals. Scott Carnegie plays for Colorado. Former Mammoth, Jeremy Noble.
And Mike Carnegie, another player who was signed this week to that San Diego Seals roster.
Noble to Fields. Jackson, Noble had his stick checked at the last minute. Berg bounce shot, put it just wide.
Berg, the leading goal scorer here for the Seals. And Joey Capito just gonna let the shot clock run out before he takes possession. And we're gonna have coincidental minors to Carnegie and Noble, the former teammates. So we'll have a little 5-on-5 action here as they'll both sit.
And I'm sure the emotions are running pretty high with Jeremy Noble, his first game against his old club.
We heard Steve Govett talk about the relationships that he has with a lot of these guys, being their former GM and president. But there are a lot of player connections between these two teams. Zach Greer, Cam Holding, Jeremy Noble, all former Colorado Mammoth players. Eli McLaughlin couldn't handle it. Here comes Tor Reinhold in transition with the aforementioned Cam Holding. And Reinhold will leave it there for Kyle Buchanan, picked up by Big Brett Craig. Craig pushes Buchanan to the outside. Jackson toe drag and gives it off to Zach Greer. Greer shot, scores! First goal ever in Las Vegas, and Zach Greer gives the Seals a 1-0 lead.
Well, and Zach Greer, another guy playing against his former club. Now, granted, there's been a little bit of separation since that. We'll take a look at the replay here in just a minute.
A nice outside bounce shot from Zach Greer. You mentioned he knows this Colorado team very well, and put that bounce shot past Ward.
I think good patience, good ball movement. Greer just got a little bit of separation, stepped in and banged it by Ward.
Just waiting for the replay as Pat Coyle was watching closely for a man behind the net to see if he might have stepped in the crease, but none doing. Face off, Cleland against Edwards. Loose ball grabbed there by Jacob Rouet. And Colorado has possession again as they try and tie this thing up. We've played 2.5 minutes here in your NLL Game of the Week. Thanks for joining us wherever you're watching from. Ryan Lee gives it off to Dylan Malloy. Now Kinnear, driving, diving, scores! Dylan Kinnear goes short side, top corner. And he's got his 4th of the season, and he is having a fantastic start to his rookie season now that Sean Williams and the Mammoth coaching staff have really put their trust in him, and he's become that new next lefty.
Just a great job by Kinnear using his physical size to get underneath Brandon Cleland. Probably a little bit of a mismatch, but he gets underneath him and tucks it by Damude.
And Pat Merrill closely watching the replay, trying to see if Kinnear's foot was in the crease, but he'll keep the red flag in his pocket. So a fantastic start here. 1-1, 12-14 remaining in the opening quarter. Shots are 3-1 in favor of Colorado. Off the ensuing draw, what are we gonna get? Pushing the back by Colorado, so Kyle Buchanan will take it for the Seals. Buchanan drives underneath. Great safety check there by Brett Craig as Buchanan got underneath him. But Craig stayed with him. Now here comes Robert Hope. He'll shoot and he put it just wide. It's 2 games in a row. Hope's taking an outside shot in transition. Now quickly up ahead, Reinhold, Belgrave, Reinhold, one more. Merrill diving and saved by Dylan Ward.
Good ball movement by the Seals in transition, a 3-on-2. I think they worked it really well. Ward was just up to the task.
That was very good triple pass and that extra one by Reinhold to Merrill, but Dylan Ward stops his good buddy from Orangeville. Rouet gives it off to Chris Wardle. Comes off the Kinnear pick, one more shot. As Lee tried to go low to low, but Damude continues to look solid between the pipes. There's no Frank Chiliano for the Seals. He was put on IR yesterday. And so Nick Claxton will have backup duties. Not Connor Kiernan this week. Stotts, Kiernan, back to Austin Stotts. Stutter step, shoulder save, Dylan Ward, ball loose. Grabbed there by Berg. Nice reset here for San Diego. Berg, 12 goals, 32 points for the Seals. Jackson to Wesley Berg.
Watch there by Warren Jeffrey. Stotts, pump fake, shot, glove save by Dylan Ward. A nice little hesitation there by Stotts. Got Ward on his toes. But number 45 in white stuck out the right glove.
Yeah, I think a fantastic save there by Wardo.
Here's Eli McLaughlin. Brett Craig gonna stay and play a shift to O. Killen, McLaughlin can't find it. Ball gonna ricochet off the boards to Killen on the far side. They go to Eli. Eli driving, far side, short side, scores. It didn't work for him the first time, but a quick reset and Eli McLaughlin gives the Mammoth their first lead. It's 2-1.
And you'll see it on the replay. Reinhold kind of lunges out, misses the loose ball. McLaughlin right there picks it up and takes it in.
Another nice little stick fake. Got Damu just to leave his post enough. And McLaughlin stuffs it short side. You were talking about, and we kind of talked about it, it'd be interesting to see how the fan base would play out in this game. There is quite a contingent of Mammoth fans right below us to our left, and they're making a lot of noise.
It's great to see, Teddy. Like a big collection of San Diego fans, big collection of Mammoth fans, and we're in Las Vegas.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Eli Gobrecht finds that loose ball, push it up Buchanan, and he'll wait for the rest of the offensive troops to get out onto the floor. Noble gets underneath Edwards, skip pass. Buchanan had to tiptoe the crease, and they tried to find Noble, and it didn't connect. Up ahead, Josh Sullivan now for Colorado. Here's Chris Wardle, had 8 assists in that Buffalo game, and it was just a passing machine. Wardle. Killen. Wardle. Pass goes awry. Reinhold quickly up ahead, Brody Merrill. Seals are really pushing the tempo.
As expected, Teddy, I was going to say, it's a little bit of a track meet early.
That's what you would expect from two Western clubs that love to run the ball in transition. Here's Connor Fields. Fields faked it, gives it off to Casey Jackson. Low to high, save Dylan Ward. And Ward's gonna bomb one to Ryan Lee out the gate. Ryan Lee shot, put it off the post. And we got a penalty coming up to the Seals. And the Seals will be down a man, and the Mammoth will have their first power play of the game, leading 2-1. Earlier tonight, there was a moment of silence here for former Laker star Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and the 7 others who lost their lives in the helicopter crash last Sunday. The entire National Lacrosse League honored those 9 in a moment of silence from coast to coast. We'll be right back from Vegas. Back to the NLL Game of the Week here from Orleans Casino in Las Vegas. Mammoth to the power plays. Eli Gobrecht will sit for 2 or less for the back check. Mammoth power play clicking at 54%. Here's Ryan Lee, new 30. Wardle down low on the crease. McLaughlin, Killen, McLaughlin. They play 1-2, now Ryan Lee. A lot of perimeter work here so far for the power play. Wardle flashes to the middle. Nice job picking that one off by Cam Holding like he knew it was coming. And now Brody Merrill to center as the Seals will try and kill some time.
And one thing to watch for here, Teddy, the Seals lead the NLL in shorthanded goals. So they're not afraid to go to the net shorthanded.
Mind you, Colorado's only given up 1, but you always have to be aware when San Diego is down a man. Inside feed doesn't connect with Buchanan. Ball loose. And Buchanan gets called for in the crease. It'll be Colorado possession with just under a minute remaining on the minor to Gobrecht. 7:35 remaining here in the first quarter. From Orleans Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here's Eli McLaughlin. Killen. Down low, Wardle. Little slow wheel here. Ryan Lee. McLaughlin. Rouet. Killen, down low, Ryan Lee, double seal, trying to free up Lee. Shot, deflected, goes wide, and it goes into the netting, but it deflected off a seal, out of play. It'll be Colorado possession. Forgot to reset the 30. Here's Ryan Lee, Killen.
Shot there from Killen and Daymud. Again, another sturdy save with 14 on the minor, so that should pretty much do it. And Kyle Killen's a guy that Colorado really needs to get going.
They do, and he's a guy that's certainly capable of bringing it. 6 goals this year in 7 games, but they've got to be a little concerned because he's shooting about 8%.
I don't like to use the term, but a little bit of a sophomore slump for Kyle Killen. Here's Austin Stotts. Oh, a bouncer didn't miss by much. Loose ball picked up there by Carnegie. He's able to skip past Stotts, who doesn't look slow at all, running back real hard for the first time. And now they got Stotts stuck out on defense, one-on-one with Dylan Kinnear. Here's Kinnear. Backdoor look for Lee. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Dylan Malloy, got his first in the NLL last week. There's a shot, and that hit a body in front, deflects. And it'll be grabbed there by Matt Sykes.
Sykes, one of the youngsters who's really put in some quality minutes for San Diego, Patrick Merrill and his crew.
Noble around the top, gives it off to Greer, who's got the lone goal for San Diego, trying to bull his way to the middle. Turn back there by Edwards. Greer driving, penalty coming. And can Buchanan get there with 8 on the 30? He does. Daymud to the bench, 6 on 5 here, San Diego. Buchanan, one more feed. Oh, and that just missed the stick of Zach Greer. But it's going to be Robert Hope will head to the box as the Seals will have their first power play of the contest. 7th best power play in the NLL at 47.2%. Holding is the call on Hope. You mentioned San Diego's got 4 shorthanded goals. Colorado's got 3, so they're no slouches a man down. Austin Stotts will set it up here for San Diego. Jackson, Greer, Berg, and down in the corner is Buchanan. Stotts on his wrong side. Shot just put it wide. And a nice handle there by TC on the Mammoth bench. Gives that loose ball to a Mammoth fan in the stands. We were maybe a little worried about the crowd earlier on tonight, but it's filled in quite nicely.
Yeah, not worried anymore. It's filling in really, really well as the game progresses here.
Here's Eli. Minute 30 remaining. Rouet turns the corner. Colorado going to see if they can get a shot off here late. Inside feed doesn't connect with Rouet, 5 on the 30. Rouet far corner, gets underneath holding, takes a shot from a tough angle. Oh, they're going to say Daymud got a piece of it. But there to pick it up is Graydon Bradley.
Heads up play by Rouet to get that reset, or try to get that reset. Gave it a chance.
Lynch shadowing Buchanan with a minute remaining on the minor to Hope. Stotts to Greer, they play 1-2. Near side Berg, Stotts, Greer, shot, tried to go low, and that's saved by Dylan Ward. Long bomb past Joey Capito on a dime. Capito, pump fake, scores! We talked about it in the pregame. When Dylan Ward can find Joey Capito on the run, 9 times out of 10 it ends up in the back of the net. 3-1 Colorado.
The way Dylan Ward can get the ball to Joey Capito is a thing of beauty to watch that. Like, unbelievable.
And Austin Stotts, a great effort trying to get back, but not many people are catching lightning on that fast break. And he goes pump fake high, 5-hole low. 3-1 Colorado, a short-handed goal, their 4th of the season. And that is when they are most lethal, is when Joey Capito is able to break out like that. Coates will take the draw here for Colorado, but it'll be grabbed there by Tor Reinhold with 40 remaining on the minor to Hope. Here's Buchanan. Kiernan will come out for the remainder of this power play. Berg will set it up. Noble will play the shooter. Late man is Jackson. Berg shot saved by Dylan Ward off the stick of Jeremy Noble, his good buddy. Berg, 8 on the minor to Hope. Jackson, Berg, skip pass, grabbed there by Fields. Back to Noble, down low, dive shot, save Dylan Ward. And stoppage of play here. And it'll send us to a TV timeout. 3-1 Colorado leads as Joey Capito gets one on a breakaway, his 6th of the season. It's the NLL Game of the Week here on BR Live from Vegas. From Vegas inside the Orleans Casino, you're watching right here on BR Live, and you can do that with the National Lacrosse League. All of the games. You can either get yourself a season pass, annual, monthly, or choose per game. For all the information, visit nll.com/BRLive. Mammoth pull Ward just so they can get a free clear. Wardle slides through the middle. McLaughlin skips it to Malloy. Up top, Ryan Lee thought about it, gives it to Eli McLaughlin near side, runs off the Kinnear pick. Late in the 30, McLaughlin to Wardle, and that pass just too hot to handle, and it's picked up by the captain, Brody Merrill. Good defensive set there by San Diego out of that timeout.
One of the things that San Diego's kind of been plagued by so far this season are slow starts. 3-1 early here in the first, late here in the first. Be interesting to see how we respond in the last couple minutes here.
Greer to Buchanan, back to Greer, shot goes wide, loose ball picked up by Berg. One more than Dylan Ward there with a nice arm save. They'll let to Warren Jeffrey. Now Chris Wardle. 12 goals, 32 points on the season for the Victoria, BC native. Wardle trying to duck inside, turned back nicely by the defense of the Seals. Outside shot, that hit Bradley. And it's picked up from the far side by Killen with 5 in the 30. Killen outside shot bouncer saved by Damu. And Bradley will find it. I said Nick Claxon was backing up. That's Charles Claxon backing up.
We all know what you meant.
I got it. There goes the perfect broadcast. Here's Austin Stotts, one-on-one with Coates. Full dodge through the middle. Shoulder fake, trying to dump it inside, still has it. Now Berg, 10 of the 30. Buchanan, hard off a pick, double team, shot on net, and Dylan Ward, again, steady, confident, comfortable between the pipes for Colorado.
And I think San Diego's got to do a little bit better job moving the ball side to side. It seems to stagnate on one side. It makes it a little bit easier for Ward.
Here's Kinnear. Shots 12-8 in favor of San Diego, but they trail 3-1. Ryan Lee off a pick, backhand feed, oh, that just missed. Jacob Rouet cutting through the middle. And now Merrill. Push it to Eli Gobrecht, gets across half floor in time. Noble. First time playing against his former club, you know he's fired up. Now Connor Field, watched there by Sullivan, tough shot, shoulder save, Ward, loose ball, grabbed by Capito. Capito gets across center, doesn't have numbers, one-on-one with Berg, so he'll flip it to Wardle and go for a change. Wardle backs his man in. Thought about a shot, driving through the middle, double team, took a shot, went wide, loose ball, picked up by the Seals. Great hounding defense by San Diego. Damu to the bench, final 30 seconds, final possession here of the quarter most likely. 6-on-5 San Diego as they try to get one back. Berg, Noble, down low Buchanan. Austin Stotts just waiting for the ball, he's got it, oh, and he falls. Held his knee, and that shot goes wide, and that's the first time we've really kind of seen Austin Stotts a little tentative on that right leg. Let's hope it was just a sniper on the floor that got him. That was a little scary. First quarter's in the books. Colorado leads at 3-1. You're watching the National Lacrosse League from Vegas on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook. It's the NLL Game of the Week. Back inside the Orleans Casino in Las Vegas, where we're making history with the first pro game here in Sin City. The Seals are going to do history again. They play the first ever game on a Marine Corps base Saturday, February 22nd. The Seals will take on the Vancouver Warriors in a stadium built right on the runway. It's the Rumble on the runway. Donate tickets to military families by texting Rumble to 619-375-3755 right now. That is going to be a scene in a couple of weeks in Southern California. Back to live action. Second quarter underway. Thanks for joining us here on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook, the NLL Game of the Week. We'll have to keep an eye on Austin Stotts to see when he's next out, because that looked a little worrisome, that last play at the end of the first. There's Noble, an outside shot saved by Dylan Ward. Gonna throw a bomb down floor. Kinnear, stutter step, shot. Oh, he tried to go low to high and just missed. And the ball bounced friendly right to Ryan Lee. But again, Dylan Ward threw that pass before his defender was off the floor.
On a dime. Some of these NFL scouts, if they're in the building, they may be dialing up Dylan Ward.
Scouts? They're scouts? Here's Kinnear, driving. Kinnear shot, oh, and he just put it wide. Dylan Kinnear looking strong here in the early goings of this game. Now here comes Graydon Bradley the other way.
I think Dylan Kinnear doing exactly what his skill set dictates that he can do. He's a big, strong kid, and he goes to the net hard.
They had Will Malcolm in that spot in the early parts of the season, but Dylan Kinnear has really earned that spot with his play over the last few weeks. Here's Casey Jackson. There is Austin Stotts. Good to see him back out on the floor. Getting worked over by Sullivan. Diving, shooting, save Dylan Ward. But Stotts looks to be okay. And now he'll go for a quick change. Now that might be another thing we keep an eye on as this game goes on, just where his cardio is, because working off floor is an outside shot by Kiernan, and he scores. That's a big goal as Kiernan gets his 6th of the regular season. It stops the 3-goal Mammoth run. 3-2 Colorado lead.
I was just going to say, Teddy, I thought the next goal in this game was going to be a big one early in the contest. Nothing really fancy by Kiernan. Berg goes down, sets a nice hard pick. And Kiernan able to beat Dylan Ward. Little bump.
Very similar to the Greer goal where the second defender didn't step out, gave Kiernan time and room. And he was able to beat Dylan Ward short side. It's a 1-goal game. Off the ensuing draw, Cullen had it. Lost it. Now bodies will collide here in the near side boards. Craig throwing his weight around. Loose ball grabbed there by Eli Gobrecht. Gobrecht double team, throws it away. It goes right to Merrill. Backside toward Reinhold. And Reinhold won't force it to Cullen with 10 on the 30. Noble, backhand feed. Shot stick saved by Dylan Ward in tight on Cullen. First half stats, shots 11-10 in favor of Colorado. Pretty even game. And kind of what you'd expect between these two Western clubs. Here's Jacob Rouet. Thought about it, skips it to Eli McLaughlin, far side, comes around a double screen. Eli turning, shooting, fakes it, trying to go 5-hole, and Demuth stood his ground. That's a big save for Nick and the Seals.
Big save, and Eli kind of got caught on his wrong side. Made the job a little bit easier for Demuth, but still, again, big save for Demuth.
Berg, far side, had Jackson slicing through the middle, didn't give it to him. Now Connor Fields. Got to be in the running for Rookie of the Year is Fields, who's really starting to find his niche. There's Jackson, scores! We're tied at 3 as Zajac gets his first tonight on a juicy rebound off the field shot. And Casey Jackson, a guy that was on IR for the first part of the year, is really starting to show why he was one of their best last year.
Casey Jackson, right place, right time on that goal. I'm sure Pat Coyle and his staff are going to take a look at this replay. It was pretty close to the crease. I think he was okay. That looks like he stays out. And you're right, Casey Jackson, his first game back a few weeks ago, pretty quiet. Has had really 2 big games back-to-back here for San Diego.
I know a lot of people were a little scared when he took that big hit from Scott Campbell in that game a couple weeks ago against Halifax, but I talked to him on the podcast this week and he said, you know what? I kind of braced myself because I was worried about it, but when it happened, I felt fine. So that's the confidence you need as a player who's dealing with concussion issues when you take that first big hit, that there aren't that wobbly stars feeling. Here's Greer inside, scores! 3 straight from San Diego. They retake the lead. It's 4-3, and we got ourselves a contest here in Las Vegas.
Well, Zach Greer just getting to the middle of the floor, getting to the quote-unquote dirty area, and able to beat Dylan Ward.
His second of the contest, team-leading 14th goal on the season.
And really, Austin Stotts kind of draws the attention that really opens the lane for Zach Greer on that goal.
So now it's Colorado who finds themselves trailing in this contest.
And I was going to say, Teddy, one of the things you mentioned, Casey Jackson coming back from that collision with Campbell. We may see that with Austin Stotts now that he realizes he's okay after going down and kind of scaring everybody in the arena and probably scaring himself.
Here comes Colorado. Rouet driving, shooting, save there by Damu. Got a glove on it. Now San Diego with some confidence and a little momentum. Holding, thought about it, gives to Noble. He'll double clutch and hold on. Slow change here for San Diego as they get fresh O guys out on the floor. Stotts to Greer. Double pick there from Austin. Takes a hard hit from Capito. Skip inside. Oh, what a save by Dylan Ward on Connor Kiernan. And then Buchanan dispossessed of the ball. And here's the captain, Dan Coates. San Diego 3 goals on 8 shots this quarter. And those 3 goals came in real quick succession as Rouet got to the middle. And again, Damu with a nice save. New 30 here for Colorado, Jacob Rouet. As the Mammoth fans try to make some noise. Skip feed, doesn't connect, and Rouet almost gets it back. And then he's checked in the far corner. And here comes San Diego.
What a hustle play by Jacob Rouet.
He does it all. And we heard Sean Williams talk about it. They don't really have a quarterback for that offense. And they would kind of like Eli to fill that role, but I think the way Jacob Rouet plays, he can really be that guy. Buchanan drives backside, can't get a flip pass off to Berg. Jackson, shot, just missed short side, loose ball. Berg finds it, kick saving it beauty by Dylan Ward. And then the ball goes off the stick of Hope right to Jeremy Noble to a fresh 30. Fields. 25 points on the year. That shot just goes wide. Heads up here in section 116. And they're gonna say that deflected off a Seals player, sorry, a Mammoth player, I believe, and we'll head to break. It's the NLL Game of the Week as the Seals have scored 3 straight. They lead at 4-3 from Vegas. You're watching BR Live on Twitter, Facebook. Next weekend, the NLL Game of the Week moves to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, as Mark Matthews and the Rush host Dylan Ward and the Mammoth at SaskTel Center. Catch all the action on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook starting 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Shots this quarter 10-3 in favor of San Diego, but it will be Colorado possession. And this has been a tale of 2 quarters, obviously. With that quick run from the Seals has really flipped this game on its head. Eli McLaughlin gets it from Wardle in an isolation. Inside feed to Wardle, and he just bobbled the pass. Good look, but Wardle unable to find a handle. McLaughlin tucks it. Shot from his feet, and that hit Reinhold. Never made it on target. And loose ball will be picked up there by Bradley, who moves it up ahead to Cam Holden. These 2 teams will meet in a couple of weeks in Colorado. Only 2 times they'll play this season. Now here's Austin Stotts. Shot, oh, that one went through Dylan Ward. And luckily, went awry, and then Colorado will get called for a push on the back. Stotts will start with it in the corner. Berg puts it far side, Kiernan. He's the one that started this 3-goal run. Noble drives, flips it, Kiernan. Still inside shot, put it wide over top of the net. Loose ball grabbed there by Jordan Gillis. Gillis gets across the timeline, will slow up and leave it for Ryan Lee. Colorado's got to do a better job of getting to the middle of the floor. There's an outside shot that goes well wide.
Yeah, they were doing a good job early, getting to the middle of the floor, getting inside, moving the ball side to side, and they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit in the last 10 minutes or so.
They are a very Jekyll and Hyde-like team. Case in point, go back a couple weeks where they were blown out by Vancouver, and then the next night they go out and put a whooping on Saskatchewan. So still trying to find a bit of identity are the Colorado Mammoth. Now here comes Connor Fields late in the 30. Fields, shot, put it wide. And that'll be a shot clock violation on San Diego. 7:26 remaining in the first half. Reminder, NLL Deputy Commissioner Jessica Berman will join us at halftime as Carnegie throws it away. Belgrave's shot saved Dylan Ward. That is a big stop by the Mammoth netminder, who looks a little slow in his cage.
Just an uncharacteristically bad turnover by Colorado right at center.
Oh, one-time finish by McLaughlin. And a bit of an off-speed shot by Eli fools Nick Damuth. And we're tied at 4 as Eli gets another.
And what do we say time and time again, Teddy? You move the ball side to side, good things generally happen. It moves from the left, from the righties to the lefty over to McLaughlin. One-timer into the back of the net.
They actually had Jacob Rouet wide open in the middle, but they'll take it. But that's something to keep an eye out for, is the high pick, swing, the guy rolling in the middle oftentimes is going to be open. And that's happened a couple times here for Colorado. As Eli McLaughlin gets his second of the night, 9th of the season, missed a few games with an upper body injury for the Mammoth, but he's back and looking as good as ever. Here's Merrill. Greer got chucked to the floor by Gillis. Buchanan now near side to Greer. Stutter step, rolls off the check of Capito one more time. Buchanan, diagonal feed. What a pass from Buchanan, and Jackson buries it in the empty net. San Diego retakes the lead.
That was unbelievable ball movement. What a great feed, cross crease to Casey Jackson. Oh my.
Jackson's second of the evening, 4th of the season. We mentioned he missed quite a bit of time with those concussion issues.
What a diagonal feed though from Buchanan.
Everybody thought that he was going to shoot that one, and just the late change of angle with the wrist skips it over to Jackson. And the quick response from San Diego, they have a 5-4 lead with 6.5 to go here in the second quarter. Coates will take this draw against Clellan. Won it cleanly and goes all the way back to Reinhold deep in the seal zone. And then a long pass up to the captain, Merrill. Merrill will go towards the bench, give it off to Connor Fields. Kiernan into the corner, Noble. Fields skips it back to Noble, comes around the pick of Kiernan and Buchanan. Behind the net, feed, scores! Jackson's got a hat trick back-to-back, and they are really exposing Dylan Ward coming high out of his crease on shoots.
Well, and I think Josh Sanderson, Patrick Merrill they've obviously done a real good job of scouting Dylan Ward. Obviously set play, Noble throws it back to Jackson, who really has kind of if there's such a thing, a naked dive for the goal.
You see, and he saw it the whole time. And a lot of times, teams will put a guy on that man behind the net, but there you'll see Dan Coates is actually at the top of his crease. And that allowed Casey Jackson, as you said, a little naked dunk.
Is there such a thing?
Vegas. There's something for everybody, including the National Lacrosse League. History is being made here tonight. Here's Robert Hope. Colorado has slow numbers. San Diego gets their defense back in order. Ryan Lee, Malloy, late man is Wardle. Eli around the top, gives it to Lee. One more, and that pass just out of the reach of Chris Wardle. They're really looking for that backside look. Up ahead, Cam Holding. Steve Govett told me that Cam Holding was really one of the integral guys in getting this game here to San Diego, and had such a great mindset of how to grow this game and get it to more people. Now here's Austin Stotts. Still looking for his first one back. Inside feed, scored! What a pass from Stotts! And Greer finishes it off. 7-4 San Diego. They're starting to run away with it.
And Zach Greer with his third goal of the game. Really nice touch pass from Stotts, drops it into Greer. And one of the things I was going to say earlier, Teddy, Zach Greer, having watched him play all season, has got a big jump in his step tonight. He's having his best game so far as a San Diego Seal.
Maybe it's those fancy shoes he's wearing. They light up the turf like Nike, like Vegas. His third. If you love the NLL, you'll love the highlights on our social channels. Get the best goals, saves, and action during the games and during the week on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and of course, NLL.com. Here's hope. Colorado needs to end this run. They've been outscored 6-1 here in this quarter. Here's Kinnear, backpedaling shot, low to high, shoulder save, Damu. Kinnear finds his own rebound, fresh 30 Colorado. Here's Lee, fakes it, takes it, shoulder save again by Damu. He's really settled into a nice, comfortable zone there in that pipe.
Well, and Damu was able to see that shot the whole way. Not much of a screen in front of him, not much movement.
Here comes San Diego. Noble in the corner, watched by Lintz. Inside feed to Berg, doesn't connect. Stotts finds it, watched there by Capito. Little inside roll, still has it. Pass to Greer, doesn't connect, but how about Stotts fighting for that loose ball? The kid is just turned on here tonight.
He's tenacious, Teddy. I mean, one of the things I think San Diego has missed by not having him in the lineup, one of the many things, is that tenacious attitude, never quit. It's Austin Stotts.
He is a gamer. McLaughlin to Wardle, low to high, what a goal! And Chris Wardle has taken his game to another level this year as he rolled off the pick and beats Damu low to high. That's a big goal for Colorado, stopping the run, getting them back to within 2 at 7-5.
Well, I know we've been only going for about 27 minutes, but we've seen some beauties so far tonight. And Chris Wardle adds to that. Just gets into a good shooting spot, goes low to high, beats Damu.
They've been going low to high quite a bit on Nick. And that one, he was just unable to get there. Wardle got him to drop just enough. And for Wardle, his 13th of the season.
And a big goal for Colorado to stop that San Diego run.
Back to the face-off dot we go. Edwards and Clelland. Just to make sure everything's just. Edwards wins it cleanly. And it's picked up there by Gillis. Finds Captain Dan Coates. Lost there by former teammate Cam Holding. Up ahead to Brett Craig. Here's Eli McLaughlin on the far side. Ryan Lee. Broken stick for Rue. He's got to get off. Lee, inside feed. Oh, Wardle had it, but bobbled it. And here comes San Diego the other way. Go, Brett. Still has it. He's wrestled to the ground there by Johnny Lentz. Loose ball picked up by Buchanan. Looks like we got Bill Greer maybe mic'd up on the bench. Maybe might even pack court. Somebody's got a mic on one of those benches. Noble, backside feed, grabbed there by Fields, shot, that one just missed. And it'll be a shot clock violation. And our final TV timeout of the half. San Diego's put the moves on here in the Colorado Mammoth. They lead at 7-5. You're watching the NLL Game of the Week on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook.
Arena in lovely and fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. NLL Game of the Week here on BR Live. Let's hear from Bill Greer, San Diego Seals defensive coordinator, who's mic'd up.
We're not talking to each other. Open, switch, shoot. It's that simple. Yeah, we gotta let them know early enough.
Patrick Merrill not mic'd up. Couldn't exactly hear, but that's the message from Bill Greer. Pick, come in, switch, shoot. Simple stuff.
Communicate. Gotta talk in this game.
Here comes Colorado trying to get back to within one with 2.5 remaining in the half. Ryan Lee. Backdoor cut. McLaughlin scores! Liger's got a hat trick. Colorado's within one. It's 7-6.
Nice ball movement by Colorado to get that goal and get McLaughlin his third.
And that's just a backdoor cut. Carnegie got caught playing a little too high, maybe shooting a little too much.
Carnegie was a little anxious, overplayed it a little bit, got him into some trouble. But McLaughlin took advantage of that situation and brings us to a one-goal game.
Far piping in past Damu. Half slowly starts to wind down. Loose ball off the draw. Who's going to come up with it? It's picked up there by Robert Hope. Nice job finding that in traffic. Hope. One hand slings it to Brett Craig. He'll wait and get help from Chris Wardle.
Mammoth doing a good job taking back some of that momentum that got away from him several minutes ago.
Underneath, Kinnear. Gets high, gives it off to Ryan Lee late in the 30. Wardle got to get a shot off. He does, but that hit a body in front, never made it on target. San Diego with 1:40 remaining in the half. Here's Wes Burke. On comes Austin Stotts. Buchanan far corner, 13 on the shot clock. Buchanan. Stotts driving, triple team, gets inside, still has it somehow. Stotts, shot, glove saving a beauty from Dylan Ward, but what a play from Austin Stotts, just to hold on to that ball in traffic. Carnegie to Coates. They'll both go for a change. Here's Ryan Lee as we approach the final minute. Inside feed, shot, shoulder save there by Nick Damu. Loose ball, Rouet had it, going to be picked up by the Seals. Coming up on NLL at the half, we'll catch up on the latest from Deputy Commissioner Jessica Byrne. Jackson shot, took a deflection, never made it on target as San Diego trying to get a 2-for-1 here. Saved by Ward. And he's just trying to keep this ball loose. Trying to kill as much time as he can, and they'll hold for last possession. Smart play there by the Mammoth goaltender. So Colorado will have 27.4 to work with and a chance to tie this game back up.
Very smart play by Dylan Ward, knowing exactly what the time and situation was. Let the clock get under 30 seconds so that Pat Coyle could call the timeout and they can go 6-on-5 minutes.
So Sean Williams will draw something up for the Colorado offense. Bill Greer will do the same for the San Diego defense. An excellent opportunity here for Colorado to even us up at 7. We get set for the final possession from Las Vegas. So far, what a night.
Unbelievable night. It's exactly what I think you and I expected coming into it. A really close game and a really exciting environment with two Western Division rivals trying to keep pace in a tough Western Division.
Colorado coming off that overtime loss to Buffalo. San Diego, the win over New York on the road. And we'll see what Colorado has drawn up here for the final possession. Rouet, Killen, Lee, Kinnear, Wardle, McLaughlin. Here comes Jacob Rouet. Reset here. Belgrave, Holding, Merrill, Gobret. And Matt Sykes has a little high pressure here from San Diego. Rouet. Killen, 15. Brody Merrill just playing rover, trying to disrupt whatever Colorado had drawn up. 10 of the half. McLaughlin driving. McLaughlin can't get a shot off. Great play by Merrill. Empty net. Will it go in? Oh, he scored! Are you kidding me? A 200-foot goal from the captain, Brody Merrill. And San Diego will take a 2-goal lead into the half.
And as you said it to set it up, Brody Merrill did everything he possibly could to disrupt that play and then ended up scoring the goal, although Pat Coyle's challenging the play.
Now, I don't know all of the rules. I know many. I don't know if you can challenge time on the clock. It's not like anybody was in the crease.
Well, that's what they'll be looking at, and it'll be interesting to see. I thought the goal was a good one, just glancing quickly. That's why we have an officiating crew.
And you couldn't put that any more top corner if you tried. What a bounce shot by Brody Merrill. So again, they will go in and review this. So obviously, this is something that they can look at. But we'll have to wait and see.
And it is one of the criteria, Teddy, determination of the ball crossing the plane of the goal before time expires.
Now the question is, can they get a shot of the ball crossing the line and the game clock?
Looking at the angles that we're looking at in the building, that could be a challenge.
They might have to start syncing up some views. So a little drama here to end the half.
Well, if that stands, what an unbelievable play by Brody Merrill. All the way around, right? From the start of the play to the end of it.
And, you know, we've heard from Brody over the years quite a bit. We heard from him tonight, just his leadership and his poise out there and his game sense and awareness to understand that he had time to take that shot.
Exactly. And the other thing on this challenge, Teddy, if you're Pat Coyle, not much to lose here by throwing the flag.
No.
The half's over. You're not using, you know, although you will. Did they take a timeout?
They did.
They did, so they would be penalized if this is unsuccessful.
So, interesting scenes here as officials still looking at this. We're not getting the replays that he is, but he'll look at this one with a fine-tooth comb. So there's, it looks like it's in with 0.1 remaining. And it looks like we have a decision. That's great job by the camera crew. Here's Chris Williams with the call. And by what we saw, this should be a good goal. And an 8-6 lead for San Diego. And that is the way the half is gonna end. A 200-foot coast-to-coast goal. And they're actually gonna have the players come out on the floor for the last 0.1.
And if you're Patrick Merrill and you wanted to lift going into the dressing room at halftime, you just got it.
Oh, 100%. Your captain, your brother, your leader. And it is a penalty, as you said, Doug. They'd use their timeout. And on the challenge being incorrect, they get a delay of game penalty, so Killen will serve it. And Colorado will start the second half a man down and down a pair of goals. Shots 31-18 San Diego. Come back, we'll hear from Jessica Berman, the NLL Deputy Commissioner. You're watching the NLL Game of the Week on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook from fabulous Las Vegas. Back inside Orleans Casino, the NLL Game of the Week, as the San Diego Seals have a 2-goal lead over the Colorado Mammoth. Back here inside, I'm
super glad to be joined by NLL Deputy Commissioner Jessica Berman. Jessica, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I'm amazing. Two thumbs up, fantastic even. Lacrosse in Vegas, it's a pretty wild scene.
It's great. We have a great crowd here. Lacrosse is actually growing quickly in this market, and it's entertainment town, and our game breeds entertainment, and people are really excited to be here. It's great to be here with them.
What does this mean for the league to be in Vegas for the first time?
Well, as some people may have seen, we're talking about expansion a lot. We're expecting to be at 16 teams in the next 3 years. This is one of the markets that's on our radar. We know people are playing lacrosse, but we also know that our audience aren't just lacrosse fans. They're fans of entertainment and event goers. So this is a great market for that. As you know, people like to party here and have fun, and our games are party environments. So we're excited to be here and test the market.
You guys have been here for the whole week. You had your business summit with all the teams that were in town. What was the point of that, and did you feel like it was a success?
We had our club business summit here. All of our 13 teams sent senior executives. We brought in thought leaders from around the industry who shared best practices. The teams were able to share best practices. We were able to share our vision for the league in terms of our growth strategy. So we were super excited to be here, achieved all of our objectives, really building momentum and helping our teams to build capacity. So we're excited for it to be the first of many and continue working with our teams to make them successful in their markets.
How did the clubs react to this business summit? Were they a part of that? Were they fully involved?
They were involved in curating the agenda. We had them presenting at the meeting because many of our teams are best in class and leaders in sports in terms of certainly putting on events, but ticket sales and all the other components of our business. So they were engaged both in the planning as well as in the execution and really engaged in participating in the event. It was really exciting to be here with all of them. It was my first opportunity to meet many of them in person, so that was really exciting for me personally, and excited to just continue working with them and helping them to achieve their goals.
Without the players, this league is nothing. How important is it for you to be in constant contact with your players and work with them?
Well, actually, in my first week at the league, we hosted a Players Business Summit in Philadelphia, which I was really excited to do. We heard directly from the players how interested they are in helping us to grow the league. Lacrosse players, as you know better than I, are role models for kids and for families. They're smart, they're engaged, they're exciting, and they're great athletes. They also have day jobs in our league, which frankly mesmerizes me, and I'm just so impressed by them and their professionalism. So I've learned a lot from them. I think there's a lot they could teach us about how we can grow the game. We're doing that through various partnerships, including a social media partnership with Greenfly, where we're going to be sharing content from our games directly with the players so that they can help us to grow the league because they're our best ambassadors.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pictures from this weekend in Vegas. Jessica, I appreciate it. Appreciate everything you've done for the league. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Teddy. Good to be here.
We'll be back from Vegas with first half highlights. Myself and Doug Locker. It's the NLL Game of the Week on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook. Back to fabulous Las Vegas in the Orleans Arena. Doug Locker, Teddy Jenner, 8-6 San Diego leads. Let's take a look at your first half highlights and what was a spectacular opening 30 minutes.
Everything we had expected, Teddy, and more. Spectacular goals, spectacular saves.
This was a back and forth affair. San Diego opened the scoring with Zach Greer. Colorado would go on a 3-goal run and then get to 3-1 by the time we got to the half, but then San Diego took over.
Yeah, San Diego, a big second quarter, 7 goals, which has to be a season high for them, but just a spectacular effort. Again, paced by Casey Jackson and Zach Greer.
Yeah, Casey Jackson's got himself a hat trick. Greer's got himself a hat trick. They seem really settled in, but we have to both be impressed by what Austin Stotts has done over here. No goals, but he's really been a contributing factor.
Austin Stotts is creating a lot of opportunities for his teammates and opening up the space that those guys need and frankly haven't had so far this season.
Eli McLaughlin made it 7-6. And they almost got it back to even, but Brody Merrill with a 200-foot goal at the buzzer that was reviewed by Colorado. It deemed it was a good goal, and that takes us 8-6 to the half. Just a crazy way to end that opening half.
I was going to say, what a way to end the first half with that Brody Merrill bomb.
First half stats presented by BetMGM. Shots on goal, loose balls, big difference for San Diego there. Face-offs pretty even.
Neither team got a chance to score on the power play, but that's about as even as you're going to get.
You're not going to get much more even. I think the only thing that stands out is the loose ball battle. And it's super impressive by San Diego to have that margin, but it's only correlated to a 2-goal lead at this point.
Come back and join us for the second half. It's the NLL Game of the Week from fabulous Las Vegas.
Welcome back to Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. I'm joined now by captain of the San Diego Seals, Brody Merrill. Brody, take me through that empty netter you just notched at the end of the second half.
Yeah, it's probably 15 years of being bored at morning shoot-around working on those long shots, but I knew I had to get it off quick. Obviously, I got lucky, got a good balance there, but we got a good energy going right now. Hopefully, we can have a great second half.
That ball went in with 1/10 of a second left. What do you think of that?
I just was relieved. I relieved that got there in time, and hopefully we can just build off of that.
All right, thanks, Brody. Good luck. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Devin. Yeah, it was a bit of a lucky bounce. The NLL on BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. So as we get set to start the second half, San Diego will start on the man advantage. Both teams 0 for 1, but this is a big moment for them to try and regain that 3-goal lead, get their crowd back into it, and really put Colorado on the back foot.
Well, I think it's going to be one of those games, we saw it in the first half, where it's back and forth, such a game of runs this league is. But this is the epitome of it right now.
Next weekend, the NLL Game of the Week moves to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, as Mark Matthews and the Rush will host Dylan Ward and the Mammoth at SaskTel Center. Catch all the action on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That could be a first-place battle in the West, but Colorado's got some work ahead of them to try and make that case.
And two big milestones, not that the players even care at this point about that, they're looking for the win, but two important milestones, I think, for two just class acts. Dylan Ward, if he wins this game tonight, it'll be his 50th career win. Certainly a big milestone for him. Brody Merrill needed 7 loose balls coming into the game to get to 2,500, which would make him the second player in NLL history behind Jimmy Veltman.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good. And we have him with 6 right now unofficially, so we'll keep an eye on that for you too moving forward.
You see the Colorado Mammoth making their way out on the floor. If you're head coach Pat Coyle, what adjustments do you make on the Colorado side of the ball?
Well, I think you want to get that consistency offensively where you don't get stagnant. You want to keep moving the ball side to side. Keep looking inside where you, as you pointed out earlier in the game, Teddy, where they were catching San Diego off guard with those switches. Try to exploit that a little bit moving through the second half.
And advice from Pat Coyle would be? Sorry, Patrick Merrill.
Well, I think for Patrick Merrill is you want to keep the foot on the gas. You know, I mean, they've been in a position in a couple of games this year where they haven't been able to close games out. This is a prime opportunity in front of this amazing crowd in Las Vegas to get that done.
The crowd has filled in nicely. It was a little sparse during shoot-around and warm-ups, but the fans have really turned out. There's a great U.S. Boxing event going on here in Vegas, so I know a lot of those players and their families are here, and it's just been a heck of a night for the first ever game in Las Vegas. Off the second half face-off, Lynn's battling, as is Reinhold, and Reinhold able to fish it over to the captain, Brody Merrill.
And if the stats are correct, that would be number 2,500.
Oh, so Reinhold purposely rolled him the ball.
May have.
We wanted to get it out of the way early. Congratulations, Brody. That is one heck of an accomplishment. Power play going to work here for San Diego. Greer behind the net. Jackson dunk shot. What a save by Dylan Ward. Is Casey Jackson slow to get up? Has some words for Dylan Ward. Minute 15 on the delay of game penalty being served by Kyle Killick. Wardle to Lee. Double clutch. Oh, that hit Brody Merrill in the shin. Bounces to Eli late in the 30. Lee tried to catch it on the run. Bobbled it. Drew Belgrave will find it.
And with 53 on the minor, San Diego power play right back to work. Stotts. Near side Buchanan. Late man is Berg. Now Stotts checks the stick, make sure he has it. Went off Capito's stick. No new 30, 10 on the shot clock. Stotts, Berg, double clutch, scores! Berg beat him 5-hole. A power play goal for Colorado. Sorry, power play goal for San Diego. And it's a 3-goal lead, 9-6.
And again, I think that's the presence of Austin Stotts, even though it was the power play. Ball gets to Stotts at the top of the power play, little dish to Berg, who really just has a lot of time to let that thing go.
Colorado just not rotating over quickly enough. And you can't give Wes Berg that kind of time and room. As Berg gets his first of the night, 13th of the season. And restores the 3-goal lead, which has been the biggest lead of the game. Edwards wins the draw cleanly to himself, runs past Gobrecht. Now Rouet. He'll slow up and let the face-off team change. And here comes the Colorado offense. Rouet, inside Lee, shot. Oh, and a nice save by Nick Davey, who got it underneath the throat guard. But a nice ball cut by Ryan Lee. And a good opportunity there for Colorado as they got to the middle of the floor. There's Jeremy Noble. Jackson. Far corner, Zach Greer. Ball swings all the way near side, now Noble with 10 on the 30. Noble spins on Craig. Another great stick check there by Brett Craig. It's the second time he's done that tonight. And then Greer gets lit up as he tried to find that loose ball. Run over by Edwards and Hope. And Edwards has it at center. Here comes Chris Wardle. Works hard off the Kinnear pick, will swing it far side, Killen. Shot, that hit Belgrade, never made it on target. And we'll go out of play, reset to 30 here for Colorado.
And that last possession that Colorado had, they did a real good job of moving the ball, as you said, getting inside, getting to the dirty area. See if they can do that more as we start to move through the third.
Killen, that hit a body again and never made it through. Loose ball, Malloy couldn't find it. Picked up by Bradley. Scott Holding ahead of him, and he'll pass it off and go for a change. Here comes Wes Berg for the San Diego Seals, watched there by Warren Jeffrey. Far side, Connor Fields. Faked it, back to Berg. Berg gets an angle and he put it off the post. Great look by Berg as he tried to bring it back short side. Jackson working on a first half hat trick. Kiernan, Fields. Overhand shot, spinning, oh, it almost went in. And they'll call crease violation on Jackson as Dylan Ward stands right over top of him. No goalie likes when guys dive through their crease.
And Jackson and Dylan Ward having words again. Dylan Ward just protecting his crease.
Here comes Jacob Rouet. Near side, Eli McLaughlin. Wardle comes to the high seal, as will Kinnear. Wardle faked the backhand, almost got underneath. Good defense there by Graydon Bradley. Wardle to lead, delayed penalty coming. As that was Jake Rouet, took a heavy hit in the middle of the floor. Gets himself right back up. Merrill gives him another check for good measure. McLaughlin twister, and that hit a man in the middle. That was Kinnear. And the Colorado Mammoth will head to their second power play of the game. So to the box goes Tor Reinhold. 2-minute checking from behind.
Number 7, Tor Reinhold, 2 minutes.
So the Mammoth power play 0 for 1 so far tonight. Let's see what they can muster up. Wardle to McLaughlin. Killen's gonna set it up top center.
Down low, Eli. Back to Killen. One more, Ryan Lee. Backdoor. Look to Wardle. Picked off nicely there by Cam Holding. That's twice he's done that. Holding with a head of steam on the run. Won't take the shot as Killen all over him. And he'll leave it there for Noble, and Killen will quickly head off the floor for a change. 10.5 to go here in a fast-moving third quarter. 9-6 San Diego leads. They try to kill off the last 90 seconds of the penalty to Reinhold. Inside feed, Greer, he caught it right on top of the crease. Was kind of handcuffed. Challenged Dylan Ward. The man with goaltender equal to the task. Here comes the power play for another minute 10.
Nice handle by Greer.
Killen will set it up top center. McLaughlin to Lee. Little slow wheel. Down low, Wardle. Wardle skips the Killen shot, saved there by Nick Demuth. And Killen really struggling. He's getting his shots off, but not really testing Nick Demuth at all. Belgrade with 42 on the minor. Berg hard off the bench. Closed down quickly by Warren Jeffrey. 10 on the 30. Berg all alone. It's looking like he's going to take a long outside shot. And now he'll just ice it into the corner. And with 20 seconds remaining on the minor to Reinhold, Colorado will have another opportunity when we come back from break. It's a 3-goal lead, and San Diego is comfortably in the lead. Come back to Vegas. You're watching the NLL Game of the Week on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook. Back inside Orleans. If you want to look like those fans, well, you should be gearing up for the season at the new team store located at Hazard Center in Mission Valley. Don't forget, season ticket members always save 15% on everything in the store. It's like Geico. Visit sealslax.com for more information. Hit hard, party hard, dive in. Like that double plug.
That was a double
plug.
sponsorship hit right there.
That's how we do it. So 16 seconds on the minor to Reinhold. 9:03 remaining in the third quarter.
And actually what happened here, Teddy, was similar to what happened earlier. Should be at 20. They started play. The shot clock didn't start, but the game clock did, and for some strange reason.
Chris Williams just over at the timekeeper's bench, making sure everything's squared away. We're just making 10-6? It's 9-6.
It's 9-6.
It's 9-6. The scoreboards here are saying 10-6 for some reason. Just making sure I didn't miss a goal.
Now we have 90 minutes left. Having a little timekeeper issue down there.
They'll
get it squared away. They'll get it squared away.
Vegas. We'll give them a bit of a break. So 9:07 remaining. Score's still not right here in the arena, but it's right on your TV screen, so we'll keep you. Eli McLaughlin. Ryan Lee to Eli. Down low, Wardle turns the corner, takes a shot. Oh, he tried to put a 5-hole. And David right there to make an easy save. Belgrave to center. Reinhold out of the box. Colorado 0 for 2 with a man advantage. Great job by the Seals defense to hold. Back to 5-on-5. Here's Greer working with Stotts on the far side. Greer turns the corner. Nice slide help by Carnegie. Bouncer just missed. Stotts has it far side. Late in the 30s. And Stotts will just ice it in the corner. Maybe trying to draw a call from the officials. We talked with Jessica Berman about the business summit that was here and all the NLL teams were in attendance. It's great to see so many of those people sticking around for the game, but also great to see a lot of NLL guys travel here to Vegas for this game, including Nick Rose, who played last night and is here tonight.
Oh, we've seen so many people over the last day and a half. It's been incredible the support that this game has gotten. And really a credit to everybody in the NLL League office, Steve Gubbett and his staff, and the Colorado Mammoth for participating in this event.
Here's Casey Jackson. 10 on the shot clock. Little hit ball trick, ball near side with Connor Kiernan. Kiernan around the top. Had it dislodged out of his stick. Greer shot goes wide. Oh, that one was labeled far top corner, but Dylan Ward stuck the left arm out. And Here comes Brett Craig. Craig across center. Down low into the corner, Eli McLaughlin. Thought about it. Will hold on to it as Ryan Holt pushes him out wide. Ryan Lee, McLaughlin, shot. Another block shot, this time by Graydon Bradley. And it's not a stat that's kept, but one I think it's gonna have to be. Oh, what a feed from Rouet to Ryan Lee. And again, Nick Damude with a stellar save, and that's blocked shots. It's not a stat that's kept in the NLL, but every game there's 5 or 6 by guys just sacrificing and willing to soak it.
I couldn't agree with you more, Teddy, and it's such an important situation in a game. Both teams stepping in front of shots all night long.
Here's Berg. Matt Vince once jokingly said he would have had more saves if guys like Ian Lord weren't blocking shots in front of him. And there's a goal from Jeremy Noble against his former club. That one's got to feel good for 45 in purple and gold. 10-6.
Yeah, as we said at the onset too, as you just said, Noble in his first game against his former club gets a nice little seal, little fake. Berg does a real good job of sealing off Johnny Lintz to allow Noble to put the ball past Ward. Just a real good job sealing there by Berg.
Noble and Ward have been friends since childhood. Growing up in Orangeville, Ontario, they played all the minor together, they played junior together. Their first few years in the NLL were all together. It's not often that they're opponents on the indoor floor. But Noble will take that one. San Diego leads it by 4 here. Largest lead of the game. Here's Sullivan. Trying to run the space. Still has it. And now we'll give it off to Coates with 17 on the shot clock. Colorado needs a goal here in a bad way, Doug, and they need it quick. Here's McLaughlin. Picked there by Malloy. Backdoor cut. Oh, what a save by Damude denying Kyle Killen. What a beautiful
fantastic
save
by Damude. But again, if you're San Diego's defense, a lot of inside opportunities. Damude's bailing them out.
Here comes Kyle Buchanan. Greer to Fields. Tucks it, tries to get underneath Capito. Easier said than done. Kiernan got pushed to the turf, no call. 5 on the shot clock. Outside shot, just missed short side. And then Buchanan will find it and ice it in the corner. Mammoth Lacrosse returns to Denver for Valentine's Day at the Loud House on Saturday, February 15th at 7:30 p.m. for a rematch of tonight's game against the San Diego Seals. Wow, that special summer with the party pack, which includes a ticket and a beer or hard seltzer starting at just $19. Check it out, ColoradoMammoth.com. Here's Malloy's shot. Oh, he tried to go low to high and just missed. McLaughlin, 10 on the 30. Ball floated up to Kinnear. Intercepted there nicely by Cam Holding. And that'll be a shot clock violation on Colorado. It'll take us our final timeout of the third quarter. 4:58 remaining since the start of the second. 24-13, San Diego's out shooting Colorado. Come back for the third from Las Vegas, Nevada on PR Live, Twitter, and Facebook. Back inside Orleans, where San Diego outscoring Colorado 9-3 since the start of the second quarter. There's a look at Bill Greer, D-coach of the San Diego Seals. Let's see what he has to say in another edition of Play.
Just a hell of a job, but it's not done yet. We got 21 more seconds here. Couple things they might run, okay? They could do that one again where they seal up, seal down, and they look for the shot here. But I think it's gonna be quick. It might be something to 16, sliding into the middle here, okay?
It always amazes me how smart those D guys are for being D guys.
You're not gonna beat me on that one.
Great job there by Billy Greer, just keeping his guys focused and on task. Now here come the San Diego Seals trying to extend this 4-goal lead. Here's Stotts. Driving, bulldodge, gets in the middle, takes a shot. Stick save and a beauty by Dylan Ward. Stotts is just such a big body and able to just bulldodge guys to the top of the crease.
It seems like he can get to any place on the floor that he wants to get to.
know it's Vegas when there's glitter constantly falling from the ceiling. There's Eli McLaughlin. Thought about it, skips it behind the net to Wardle. Little cat and mouse behind the net. Wardle got to get a shot off. Great defense there by Brody Merrill and the Seals.
Well,
Merrill will give it off to Burke.
If this game is any setup or an hors d'oeuvre for the game in 2 weeks, you're in for a heck of a call at the Pepsi Center.
It'll be decent. Here's Fields. The Loud House will be rocking. Driving shoulder save as Fields try to go short side. Here comes Brett Craig. Watch out for the man off the bench. Gives to Edwards. And now Dylan Kinnear. Here comes Ryan Lee laid off the bench. Malloy. Kinnear. Driving. Score! Oh, they wave it off. Kinnear open on the backside. And they wave it off almost instantly. Stays a 4-goal game. It's 10-8. Sorry, 10-6. Jackson, Greer. Near side, Noble. Thought about it. Double clutches. Delayed penalty coming up here to the Mammoth. Dave Moon to the bench. Long outside shot goes wide. They'll bring us a whistle. And it's going to be a holding call on Scott Carnegie. San Diego head to their third power play. They're 1 for 2 so far on the night. Carnegie not appreciating of the call. But he'll get 2 for a hold. Still has some late words for the official. Holding the stick is the call. So 2:54 remaining here in the third. And Zach Greer will set up the power play. Check that, Austin Stotts. Berg, Stotts, little high drag, back to Berg. Stotts, skip pass picked off by Capito. Can he outrun 2 defenders? Capito, Berg on him. And nice job by Westberg and Austin Stotts to get back, but somehow Capito regains it and drives to the net and misses.
Fantastic job by Joey Capito to maintain ball control when it was really 3-on-1 at one point and still get the shot off.
Buchanan brings it across center, will go for a change. Noble will set it up. Greer to the crease, Fields will play the shooter. Berg and Kiernan on the near side. Fields to Greer, up top Noble. Loves that top center shot, scores! Berg caught Ward stepping, skipped it far side. It's a 5-goal game, 11-6. And the Seals comfortably in control.
And Jeremy Noble in on the last 2 goals. Nice assist, nice little flip pass to Wesley Berg on the power play to put the Seals up by 5.
I didn't think this was going to happen.
I don't think we've seen the last run by the Mammoth yet.
I don't either. There's still plenty of lacrosse to play, but this kind of brings us back to those Jekyll and Hyde moments of this Colorado team. They've sort of disappeared since that opening quarter. 3 goals since that opening 15 minutes. San Diego wins the draw. Jackson keeps it on the flip. Connor Fields. Noble, backside look to Fields, couldn't find it. Sullivan checked him. And Josh Sutton will find that loose ball and leg it across center. There's Eli McLaughlin. Pass back to McLaughlin, goes awry. Wardle had the stick ripped out of his hands. Loose ball picked up by Sykes. Let's throw it down to the third member of our team, Devin Caney. Devin, what's going on?
Thanks, Teddy. I was talking to Robert Hope of the Colorado Mammoth earlier about Dylan Ward, and he said that Dylan's calm demeanor really helps him stand out. He never gets rattled, but you do have to wonder what is going through Dylan Ward's mind right now as The Seals are out shooting and outscoring the Mammoth. Score is 11-6, guys.
Now 12-6. As Kiernan takes the pass from behind the net and dunks it past Dylan Ward. They've doubled up the Mammoth. It's a 12-6.
I think it was actually Buchanan, Teddy,
Right,
that snuck behind the back of the net. Noble now in on the last 3 goals. A goal and the last 2 assists. Fantastic feed by Jeremy Noble for the finish by Buchanan. And they are doing a fantastic job of really exploiting what we talked about earlier, Dylan Ward coming high.
And just a heady play there by Buchanan to realize that it was late in the 30s. He worked his way behind the net, heads up play by Noble to make that pass. And it's just really hard to defend that as a goaltender because you have to play the shooter. Here's Brett Craig. Brett Craig scores!
That's a big answer by Brett Craig. Off the draw, something that will send most coaches into an aneurysm. But Brett Craig with a nice loose ball takes it to the net and buries.
His second in the NLL. And just a great play, tiptoes the crease, puts it 5-hole. And that's a goal that ends the run and gets us back to a 5-goal game. 32 and a half remaining in the third quarter.
And Brett Craig is so impressive because he's so athletic for a big guy, and he showed some of that athleticism just there.
Off the draw, Coates finds it. Taken to the floor, loose ball picked up there by Buchanan. Has Belgrave with him. But San Diego will call timeout here with under 30 to play in the third.
And the clock ran off probably about 3 or 4 seconds, so I'm sure they'll
It was a little bit more
reset
than
that. May have been.
More than that.
Yeah, may have been.
But we'll see what they reset it to, and we'll see what one of the greatest to ever play the game, Josh Shooter Sanderson, can draw up here 6-on-5.
Yeah, so you're right, Teddy. They're going to put 6 seconds back on the clock, almost 6 seconds. Just reset it to 23.
Fans want the best seat in the arena at unbeatable prices? Become a Seal season ticket member and enjoy all the benefits of the membership. Tickets starting at just $9 a game. Save big on tickets, merch, and parking. Visit sealslax.com to lock in your seats today.
And Teddy, the vibe in this building is really incredible tonight, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All the kids, fans from both teams, a lot of NLL players who you said, I mean, Nick Rose being a prime example, but there are others here tonight.
I think Christian Del Bianco's here. Saw Landon Miller in the house. Jake Elliott and Evan Schemenauer here, Adam Levy. It's just a phenomenal experience here in Las Vegas. The Sin City Showdown. Who knows if we're ever going to do it again?
Let's hope we do.
Let's hope we do. Let's hope that is a 9-time trip coming down here. As Jessica Berman said, Vegas is on their radar of possible expansion cities. They want to get to 16 teams by 2023. This could be one of the next destinations. 5 in the quarter. Noble, career shot, took a deflection, never made it on target. And then Noble bobbled it at the buzzer. Can't believe he let that one slip, but that's the way the third quarter will end. 15 minutes remaining. Mammoth trail by 5. Seals enjoying their lives in Las Vegas. Come back fourth quarter on BR Live Twitter and Facebook. It's the NLL Game of the Week. Back inside Orleans Arena. Doug Locke, Devin Keenan, Teddy Jenner. Thanks for joining us for the NLL Game of the Week. We're on BR Live Twitter and Facebook. It's Eli Goldberg. You've been really impressed with his maturation to the NLL game.
I think he's really adjusting very fast to the NLL game. And it's come, he works his body. I mean, he's very athletic. That was his MO at Ithaca College, and it's translated extremely well to the NLL.
Opening draw to start the fourth quarter. Clellan going to be working his way off the floor. Now Reinhold might want to tangle with Brett Craig. Vegas is known for their fights. I don't mind to see that little tilt. Might be a little one-sided.
Might be a size matchup there. Brett Craig at 6'6".
Reinhold standing in there. Can't hate him for trying. Shots 37-27 in favor of San Diego. Loose balls, Doug, 60-35 in favor of the Seals.
That's an incredible disparity in numbers.
That's not going to make Pat Coyle very happy.
And number 7, Cole Reinhold.
So Reinhold and Craig will each sit for 2 minutes.
5-on-5.
We'll play 5-on-5. Should be Colorado possession, I believe. As both captains come over and have words with the official just to figure out what the plan is.
No, you guys had 4 minutes in penalties. They have 2 minutes in penalties. It's not. He's switching it right now. Trust me.
That's the voice of crew chief Chris Williams. And it looks like someone's getting 4 minutes. Probably Tor Reinhold.
Tor Reinhold's going to get 4.
He's sort of the quote-unquote instigator of all that. So that's why it's Colorado possession. Down in the corner, Chris Wardle. Wardle comes high off the pick. Malloy drives, dives, shot. Oh, just put it wide. No reset, 15 on the clock. There's a shot by McLaughlin, kicked aside, rebound, new 30. Ryan Lee isolated on Brody. And now we'll give it to McLaughlin. Wardle, shot, put it wide. Malloy finds it off the end boards. One-on-one with Merrill. Malloy drives, spins, fakes it. Nice save there by Nick Damu. For a guy in his second career pro start, he doesn't look it. Looks real comfortable between the pipes, and looks like now Brody Merrill's going to get a penalty. Maybe
they're going to get Brody for a hold.
Colorado fans still do the chants when they're on the road. Love it.
2 minutes.
But you mentioned this, there's no real home team because it's a neutral site game. Obviously, Seals fans have a little easier commute to get here, but the Mammoth Nation travel well, and they're doing all they can to inspire their group as Colorado heads to their third power play of the night. 0 for 2 so far.
And right now the clock is still not a factor, but this is a super important power play for the Mammoth.
Hard outside shot by Killen. Turned aside by the left shoulder of Damu. McLaughlin to Wardle. Skips it to Rouet. One more, Eli far side. Killen shot. Oh, he tried to go low to high, and they'll say it deflected off Belgrave and out of play. Minute 30 on the Miners. Killen plays 1-2 with Eli. Wardle will run some interference. Now Lee, shot. Hit a body, out of play. And it might have gone right off the face mask of Damu. Adjusts the bucket. Killen. Down in the corner, Wardle around the back. A full circle of passes. Inside feed, doesn't connect to Killen. Lee. Killen to Lee. Shot, save, Damu, loose ball. And a good stick check there by Drew Belgrave. Not allow Wardle or Rouet to pick it up.
And I think Sykes blocked that shot trying to get through.
Keep the stat, I'm telling you. And Killen gonna stay in the offensive zone. San Diego hasn't quite recognized yet. Now they'll send Graydon Bradley out the back door. That pass goes awry with 30 seconds remaining on the Miner. Killen fakes the flip to Ryan Lee. Oh, he had him. He had him, Doug. Not too often it works as Kyle Killen takes another shot. Man, he is just struggling to find a goal.
but he had him on the hidden ball trick and didn't shoot it. That'll kill off the penalty. Merrill's out. 0 for 3 for the Colorado Mammoth, who came in scoring just under 55% of their opportunities with the man advantage. Here's Wes Berg, one-on-one with Lintz. Berg, time and room shot. Oh, he hit the post. Great shot by Wes Berg. Second time he's sprung it off the iron.
Ball got stuck between the carpet and the boards, so they'll face it off.
I suppose that's the first time that's actually happened tonight.
You know, it's funny, we were talking about this pregame, how the alternate face-off dots rarely get used.
Yeah.
Here's an example where it is.
This is a rarity to have an offensive/defensive zone face-off. And it's funny because guys don't really know how to line up.
They have no idea what to do.
Where the heck can I go?
Inside of this line, boys, with your sticks. Straight there, stick out.
So Cullen and Edwards.
Set.
Cullen won that clamp real quick. They battle for possession. And Edwards has the clamp now. Ball pops free. Hope in there, as is Reinhold, who gets pushed to the floor by Capito. And that'll earn the Seals possession. There's Connor Kieran on the far side. Gives it off to Wes Berg. Just over 11 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Zach Greer, one-on-one with Tim Edwards. Stutter step, split dodge, gets the middle. Oh, and it bounced off the post. What a weird bounce that was. Long bomb, Capito. Spins off his check, won't force it, but he finds his man off the bench. That's Kinnear. Backhander score! Oh my goodness! Dylan Kinnear with a beauty.
Dylan Kinnear with an unreal goal to cut this margin to 4. Capito in transition, and then watch what happens.
As a goaltender, there's not much you can do about that one. You gotta play the stick, you gotta play the shooter coming high, and Kinnear goes behind the back, short side, and it's a 4-goal game. Coates will take this draw against Clone. Coates pops it free. Who's gonna find it? Oh, Hope stepped on it. Goes crashing to the turf. Loose ball picked up there by Reinhold. Maybe got away with a little bit of withhold, maybe twice, but still has it somehow. Flips it to Holding. Great work by Tor Reinhold. That man is all about the grit and sandpaper. 7 purple.
That is hard work by Tor Reinhold to come up with that possession for San Diego. And immediately after a Colorado goal, if you want the ball.
Here's Connor Fields. Noble into the corner. Wes Berg. There's Stotts, shot! Scores! Welcome back for real, Austin Stotts. Look how happy he is to get his first goal back in the NLL. Now let's see if Pat Coyle will challenge.
He's looking intently up at the video monitor to see if he wants to throw his challenge flag.
Berg passes to Stotts, cutting through. Ward got a piece of it.
I would think that that's got to be an emotional moment for Austin Stotts. After all the work and all the effort that he's put into getting back into the NLL. Welcome to 2020, Austin Stotts.
He took the NLL by storm last year in his rookie season. He was cut short with that knee injury, but he has done everything in his power to get back to this moment. And what better stage than Las Vegas? Back to a 5-goal game, 13-8, 10 minutes remaining. Greer, one-time feed to Kieran, saved by Dylan Ward. Oh, the rebound by Fields was almost batted back into the net. There's Tim Edwards.
Now, we talked about it earlier, too. I mean, Austin Stotts has 1 goal in this game, but has probably contributed to 3 or 4 others just by hard work. Yeah.
There's an outside shot by McLaughlin, and Demuth confidently parries it aside.
Sykes gives it off to Reinhold. They'll both head towards the bench for a change. Pass to Jackson, wasn't really looking forward to it. Noble. Berg. They really like starting Berg in that low corner, letting him come high. Outside shot, took a deflection, just missed. Late in the 30. Berg driving, diving save there by Dylan Ward. As Connor Kiernan looks to be a little shaken up as he heads off. Hope to Lee. Oh, he gave it back to Hope, but he wasn't quite ready for it. Wardle finds that loose ball. Hope still in the offensive zone. McLaughlin's shot, put it wide. Loose ball to Killen. Killen. And there'll be a crease violation. And it'll be San Diego possession when we come back. Austin Stotts with his first goal of the season. And there's probably not a happier person in all of Las Vegas. 13-7 San Diego leads. You're watching the NLL Game of the Week on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook.
Welcome back to Orleans Arena in Vegas, where Austin Stotts just notched his first goal of the season in his first game back from injury. And I was speaking to Austin not just earlier today, but also earlier this season, and he told me that this game was a goal for him. He wanted to play in the Vegas game so badly, so you love to see it, whether you're a Seals fan or not. You just love to see an athlete bounce back from injury and start contributing to his game.
Thanks, Devin. Great stuff. Field. Jackson scores! And Jackson has a word for Dylan Ward as he picks himself up off the crease. C-Jack's got 4. 6-goal lead, 14-8.
All starts with good ball movement by the Seals. Little give and go to Casey Jackson, right on the doorstep. Pretty tough save for Dylan Ward to make.
And that little hesitation got Dylan Ward to freeze. And now here comes Tyler Carlson. It's not too often we see Dylan Ward relieved in a lacrosse game. But Colorado does have Saskatchewan next weekend, so maybe a chance to give Dylan Ward a little bit of a rest.
And Tyler Carlson played for San Diego a year ago in the inaugural season.
He's played for most teams. One of the biggest team guys around, Tyler Carlson, will be between the benches. And if you've never seen him play, you've probably heard him on most broadcasts, as he is a very vocal backup goaltender. Here's Ryan Lee. Colorado needs to start scoring, and they need to do it in a hurry. Inside feed, Wardle. Good check there by Reinhold. Going the other way is Gobrecht. He'll slowly pull out to the side, find Reinhold behind him. Reinhold will flip to Greer, who's got himself a hat trick as well. Greer around the top, gives it to Fields. Shot, scores! Connor Fields, first of the game, 13th of the season, and San Diego starting to pull away.
Yeah, Connor Fields with a real nice move, just continues to go to the net, gets the feed, and uses, looked like Brett Craig as a screen.
Put it short side. Carlson got a piece of it.
Actually used Josh Sullivan as a little bit of a screen.
We talked about it earlier. Connor Fields could be, or should be, in the running for Rookie of the Year as we approach the halfway point of the season. Oh, great hands over there in section 104. Stuck out the glove, made it barehanded.
A lot of high fives up there.
Oh, and gives it to the kid. Great work. Near side, Connor Fields. That may be our player of the game. Maybe. Probably not. There's an outside shot saved by Carlson. And he'll bomb it down to Capito. Wardle. Capito will go for a change. Wardle to Eli in the far corner. Back to Wardle. Good defense there by Graydon Bradley to push Wardle out to the far corner. Wardle still has it, gets to the middle, takes a big hit. And then in the process, shot it wide.
Up ahead, Belgrade. This is the NLL Game of the Week on BR Live, Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for joining us wherever you're tuning in from. San Diego Seals have a 15-8 lead over the Colorado Mammoth in the inaugural Sin City Showdown. Noble to Kiernan, inside Jackson. Thinking about it, shot, knocked down nicely by the stick of Sullivan, and then Sullivan gives Jackson a shot right to the low back. And the Mammoth players have been real unhappy with Casey Jackson, and now Merrill comes in trying to grab Carnegie. But I think it was Sullivan.
Brody Merrill doing what good captains do, right? Sticking up for his teammate.
We saw him do that the other weekend in Halifax after the Campbell hit on Jackson later in that game. He said, all right, Soupy, now it's time for a little retribution. And they dropped the mitts in a good little tilt. But again, just, you know, you gotta look after your guys. You gotta look after your stars. And Sullivan will head to the box for the cross check.
So if this score holds, Teddy, or if this result holds, it really creates a mess in the West. Saskatchewan with 3 wins, Colorado will stay at 4, Calgary at 2, Vancouver and San Diego will both have 3. So you have 3 teams with 3, the Mammoth will have 4, Calgary will have 2.
And I've said it before on many shows and podcasts and games, that I truly believe one of those 2 wild card seeds in this new playoff format will come out of the Western Division.
I agree.
Noble top center as the Seals go to work on their 4th power play. They're 2 for 3 so far. Fields, skip pass. Kiernan shot, save Carlson. Loose ball, grabbed there by Carnegie. Sidesteps the check, passes it up to Capito, and he just throws it away.
Nice pass. Seal ball.
Greer will pick it up in his own zone. Jogs it across center with 1.5 minutes remaining on the minor to Josh Sullivan. Noble, Berg. Round the horn they go. Zach Greer, now Connor Fields. Jackson, short side pipe. Skips it to Noble. Berg is behind the net, he has it now. Back to Noble. Jackson, shot off the inside of Carlson's foot and bounces straight. Capito across center. We'll float it to Eli. Carlson looking to go to the bench, and then Roué cuts and scores. We're not done yet.
Good little feed by Eli McLaughlin. Finds Roué cutting to the net, who beats Demuth.
Roué's first of the night, 14th on the season. And it makes it a 15-9 scoreline with just over 5 minutes remaining. Mammoth fans haven't lost hope as they continue to cheer on their team. And maybe we're in for a little dramatic finish here.
It's Vegas, anything could happen, Teddy.
It would only be fitting after the way this game has gone. Not sure what the delay is, or maybe just getting that second replay done. And Pat Merrill might throw the flag here. Got it in his pocket, he'll keep it there. Off the draw, ball free, Holding runs through it. Lintz finds it in his own zone. We'll move it up to Dan Coates. It was a short-handed goal by Jacob Roué.
Mammoth with their second short-handed goal of the night.
And now I believe league leading 5th on the season. Here's Wardle. Oh, and this is gonna be a penalty coming up. And here we go, we're gonna have a tilt. Kinnear and Merrill. Let's have it. And the officials quickly step in, but Kinnear is a tough Alberta boy. He wanted to dance with one of the toughest in the league. And Brody Merrill was going to be a willing combatant. And Merrill still having words for the Mammoth bench. We could have some fireworks. May not be a frantic finish. We could have a dust-up or two. When we come back, there's 4:40 remaining in the NLL Game of the Week from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And now for the Geico play of the game. Brody Merrill with .1 remaining in the half, a 2-bouncer top corner.
Ball had eyes.
Get in the net, get in the net.
That's got to be Bill Greer mic'd up. You can hear him saying, timeout, timeout. Okay, no, I don't want a timeout. Isn't that always how it works? That's the Geico play of the game. We've had a little bit of everything, and I think there's a fight on the horizon. Just, I think.
And during the break, Brody Merrill, Dylan Kinnear had about a 2-minute conversation while we were away.
So, just waiting for the official to blow play in. It's going to be 5-on-3 here for San Diego for 10 seconds, and Sullivan will be out. It'll be 5-on-4. 4:41 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Seals leading at 15-9, looking for their 4th straight win over the Colorado Mammoth. They beat them 3 times last year. They're leading in this one, and in every game they've played, they've chased Dylan Ward. Backside look. Oh, what a save by Tyler Carlson! Oh, they call it a goal. Carlson screaming for the flag to be thrown. And it's quickly thrown by Pat Coyle. This is going to be close because Carlson did make the stick save, but whether the ball crossed the line or not is yet to be decided.
Yeah, whether the ball crossed the line before Jackson made contact with the crease will be real interesting to see here.
I think that's it. But yeah, that's a tough look on the first one. Here's a great overhead look. Oh, and Kyle Killen just squirted water at a fan behind the penalty box.
A lot of stuff going on here right now, Teddy.
And now Killen's being tossed from this game. And Pat Coyle would like an explanation.
Back that up.
So the official will talk this over with Pat Coyle. Well, it wouldn't be Vegas with a little bit of nastiness. Man, that guy's loving life.
I think he wants one of the game stars.
Not going to get it. I think you got to look at a guy like Nick Damude as one of your stars tonight, Doug. He's been absolutely phenomenal. But the officials are just going to kind of talk this over. I think they're going to eject those fans behind the penalty box. And he's going to have to walk by a few Colorado Mammoth fans on his way, and the Seals fans are loving him.
So as to this review, Teddy, the call on the floor was a goal. So it's got to be conclusive video evidence to overturn it.
So you're right, this goal's still being reviewed. I forgot all about that.
Well, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Right in front of us, too.
And it is a good goal for Casey Jackson.
So that'll be Casey Jackson's 5th goal of the game tonight.
He had 2 goals coming into the game. He only played, what, 3 games? This is his 3rd game back. at 5 here tonight, one shy of the sock track.
Well, not only that, I mean, he was struggling a little bit to put the ball away, largely due to the first game that he played. Was shooting about 9%. So this is definitely a breakout game and a return to what he accomplished last year for San Diego in one game.
He was phenomenal last year. It's funny, he'd never really gotten a chance in the National Lacrosse League. He'd been with teams, he was in and out, he just didn't fit, and now he's found a home, and he had a lot of faith put in by Pat Merrill.
Well, in the 1 year that he was really going to get a chance, he blew his hamstring the first 10 seconds of training camp. It was just such a terrible thing.
But now healthy and loving life playing for the San Diego Seals. 16-9.
And now Colorado's got to play with a lot of urgency.
A lot. They're not going to pull Tyler Carlson. Here's Ryan. Jacob Rouet skips it over to McLaughlin, fakes it, takes it, and another strong save by Nick Damon. Here's Holding. Far side, Noble, into the corner, Buchanan.
If you're Josh Sanderson and Patrick Merrill, for a team that was struggling to score goals before last week, you've got to be happy with the fact that you put up 15 against New York and then come right back, and so far you put up 16.
On one of the best defenses in the league.
On one of the best defenses and goaltenders in the NLL.
And just a point of note for all those fans watching at home is Merrill yells at Kinnear, and I think they're going to go is Ryan Lee gets one past David. We haven't seen Austin Stott since he scored that goal. Not that I think he's hurt, but I think they're just saying, hey, you know what? This game's in the comfortable lead. Let's not risk it. Let's just have you sit, rest up. We got bigger games ahead.
Right, and they could take advantage of the bye week this coming week to get him healthier and even stronger for a return matchup in the Pepsi Center in 2 weeks.
If we don't have a fight here tonight, I cannot wait for that game in Colorado.
I can't wait anyway.
Yeah, true enough. So Ryan Lee gets his first of the game. 3:20 remaining, 16-10. Kinnear and Merrill will be out of the box eventually. And I hope they just, I won't say it. Here's Brett Craig. Gives it off to Capito, back to Brett Craig, fakes it. Oh, I thought he was gonna let one fly. Wardle. Shot there by McLaughlin as he goes diving through. Holding gets across center.
Teddy, I don't want to harp on this, but I guess I'm going to.
Please.
Is that the Austin Stotts factor to me is amazing. With Austin Stotts in the history of the organization, the Seals, with a win tonight, would go to 10-4. Without Austin Stotts, they're 3-13.
It's amazing how much one player truly can mean to a team. As Colorado will pull Tyler Carlson. Goes 6-on-5 here. As Brett Craig comes out for a shift on him, just maybe try and clear some space. Lee's shot put it wide. McLaughlin tried to backtrack, and he'll get called for over and back. Drew Belgrave with an empty net. Belgrave shoots and scores. As Drew Belgrave gets his first point of the season. And his first goal of the season. 7-goal lead at 17-10.
And Drew Belgrave just so athletic. That's his second NLL goal. Had one last year. Yes, it's an empty netter, but still a goal.
They don't ask how, they just ask how many. So Merrill and Kinnear are out of the box. Neither are on the floor currently, but there's still 2 minutes remaining. But you mentioned it, Doug, this is a big win for the San Diego Seals, building off that win against New York. Put up 15, now 17. And for a team that, had a bit of a slow start, this is a nice little turnaround as San Diego get called for 8 seconds. Here's Tim Edwards. Shot scored! Only to leave that one off. As Edwards tried to go post to post, but under 2 minutes. They'll review it. Austin Stotts, 1 goal, 3 assists, 7 shots. But just his body of work, and you mentioned it earlier, he may only have those 3 assists, but he's helped create a lot more than just those 4 goals.
He has, because he's who he is and does what he does, he makes everybody else on that offensive end so much better.
I'm excited to see what the rest of the season holds for him. He's just a generational talent. And, there was a lot of hype a couple years ago that maybe he was going to leave school early and enter the draft, but he waited a year, and the Seals couldn't have been happy to get him with that #1 pick. And he's been a huge part of their success. And that right foot is on the line. This one will come back.
Maybe the most consequential thing in Seals history was the coin flip.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can go back in the history of expansion teams when they've had those coin flips. I look to when Portland came in the league and they got Brody Merrill, and within 2 seasons they were in a championship game. It's just crazy how a simple thing like that can completely turn a franchise around. And Philadelphia was on the other end of that coin toss with San Diego, so they got the first pick in the expansion draft, but they didn't have the first pick overall. And this year we've seen it with New York and Rochester, that New York had the #1 pick overall in the entry draft, Rochester had the first pick in the expansion draft, and the expansion draft has really helped Rochester field an excellent team out of the gate.
Absolutely, and it's just mind-blowing how important that was. Like, just
so crew chief Chris Williams confirms that this is no goal. Minute 44 remaining. Buchanan will start with it deep in his own zone. He'll sprint past John Lintz, get across center. Good recovery there by Lintz just to gain some ground. Now near side Connor Fields. Mammoth fans, as they do inside the Pepsi Center, on their feet for the final 90 seconds of regulation. Kiernan to Berg, and he put it just wide.
Just kind of slipped out of his stick funny. But for San Diego, for a team that started the season the way they started it, to be able to put together 2 consecutive wins, one on the road and one against arguably one of the best teams in the West, is an impressive feat and certainly something to build on for Patrick Merrill and his staff.
Edwards finds that loose ball, then ridden hard into the boards by Sykes. Massive humanity collides in the corner. There's a shot by Hope, his second shot of the game. David with another save. He's faced 40 shots, saved 30. Coming up on NLL Postgame Live, highlights and analysis of tonight's game. A look around the league. That's all coming up next after the final whistle.
Is that going to be a 45-minute show? There's a lot to cover.
No, it's not going to be 45 minutes, Doug. Hope and Fields have a few words as we finish the final 10 seconds. What a debut for the NLL in Las Vegas as Damude seals it with another fantastic save off Capito. Look how happy Nick Damude is in that goal for the San Diego Seals. Back-to-back starts, back-to-back wins, and the Seals have got themselves right back in the West Division hunt for the playoffs.
And now they've got a week to sit back and prepare for the same opponent, which is a huge advantage, I think.
I think it's a huge advantage. But we'll come back, we'll break it all down, talk what kind of advantage that is. This is the NLL Game of the Week, NLL Postgame Live, coming up from Las Vegas, Nevada, here on VR Live, Twitter and Facebook.
Welcome back to Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, where the San Diego Seals have just defeated the Colorado Mammoth. I'm with Casey Jackson. Casey, just your second game back this season. 5 goals and 3 assists. Back like you never left.
Yeah, I think I had to shake a little rust off in the first games, and so yeah, it was nice to get a couple and get back on a little bit of a roll.
Now this is your second game back. Tonight was Austin Stott's first game back. How much of an impact did he have on the team tonight?
He's a different kind of breed. I've never met a guy so crazy and wild and into the game, so he gives us a little bit more energy than we need, and it's awesome. I mean, we thrive off it. He's a different kind of cat, that's for sure.
All right, congrats, Casey. Thanks. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks, Devin and Casey Jackson, #1 star of the game. 5 goals, 3 assists. But very humble in saying how much Austin Stotts means to this club.
I think he's being super realistic. I mean, a breakout game for Casey Jackson for 2020, 5 goals, 3 assists. But he recognizes how important the Austin Stotts factor is by making some space and drawing some attention.
Let's take a look back at how this game unfolded as we look at the highlights from the inaugural Sin City Showdown. And this was Colorado's 3-1 goal. They just scored 3 straight. They were in control. Joey Capito on the breakaway. But then it all kind of started to fall apart for the Mammoth, and San Diego started to take control.
Yeah, that was such an unbelievable pass from Dylan Ward to Capito. He's done it all year. And you thought Colorado was going to be poised for a big run, but then at the end of the half,
that's a heartbreaker.
Brody Merrill with the bomb.
So that made it 8-6 at the half. Jeremy Noble behind the net feed to Buchanan as the San Diego Seals really exposed Dylan Ward aggressiveness at the top of his crease.
Yeah, they did a good job on that all night long. Either it was a dunk goal or several good attempts from behind, taking advantage.
And there's Austin Stott's first goal back in the National Lacrosse League. I said it during the game, I don't think there's anybody happier than Austin Stotts when he scores a goal.
No, I'm sure it was a very emotional moment for Austin after all the work that he put in to get back for this night.
There you see Captain Brody Merrill consoling his young star as Connor Fields gets in the action, and then Casey Jackson gets his 5th of the night. He was 1 away from the sock trick, but he'll take it, and this was a fantastic team effort by everybody on San Diego.
Absolutely, and a huge win for San Diego to string 2 wins back-to-back, fight their way back into contention in the NLL West. Now they get a bye week, and then they meet the same club in 2 weeks on February 15th in the Loud House.
February 15th is the next game for the Seals. The Mammoth head to Saskatchewan next week on a Friday night game. That's going to be a huge test and a big test for the Colorado Mammoth. What a night! It's Sin City Showdown is in the books. Once again, the final score, 17-10 San Diego. Visit NLL.com for all access pass to the NLL and get the latest news, stories, highlights, and more. For Doug and Devin, I'm Teddy Jenner. You've been watching the NLL Game of the Week on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook. So long from Las Vegas.